All right, so today we are going to learn about Git. On Sunday, we had learned about the command line. And the reason I taught the command line is because I wanted to introduce you to it because the way we save our code is through the command line. And today we're going to learn about some of those commands. And just to give you I guess, um, insight on what is to come next on Sunday is actually going to be our first project together. We're going to have a group project. And for those who didn't already see, I actually made groups for y'all.
Yeah, Black Lions, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, those names was definitely like, I'm so you like that name then? Or like
Black, and I'm a lion type, bro. So
big leopards all the way.
Yeah, I literally just went to like a website and just clicked random names, random team names.
So I don't dislike Thunder Crew. I just questioned it a little bit.
Well, I'm 12, so.
Yeah. All right, let me pull these groups up.
Mutants, baby.
I'm glad there's so many people, honestly. Like this, I think this is probably the biggest class, even though like a lot of people dropped off. We definitely starting with a lot more people. Let me share my screen. So we have 5 teams. So each group has 5 members except for the last one. Now, just to quickly explain what this is and why I made teams. So basically, I want everybody to get to the end of this. Like I want all of y'all to like learn this stuff. And I think and some of the suggestions that came from the previous cohort was to create groups. Maybe that'll like create a sense of like belonging or like, like you'll have like a dedicated team to sort of depend on. So one of the things I think that y'all should do, and you can take it upon yourselves, maybe even like start a group chat with your actual group members, because like the projects is going to be with the groups that's currently like that you're currently with, and you'll be with the groups for the whole time. Now, worst case scenario, if people start dropping off, life gets in the way or whatever happens, I'll redistribute the groups only when there's only one person left. So if there's 2 people left to a group, let's say 2 people dropped off, I won't redistribute anything until we get to 1 person per group. And I feel like that'll help y'all push each other to stay to push through the class. And obviously, like I'm not about to give a hard project to a group member with only 2 people in it, but yeah, these will be your groups. Any questions on that before I move on?
I think Talab has a request.
Let me look at can you change oh yes. Oh, Talab, thank you. I was going to ask you about that because I saw your name as 2 different things in 2 different places. My bad on that. Okay.
You said add an extra A too to Talib.
Oh wow. I definitely spelled that way off.
Oh, okay. Maybe
wait, it's a single.
You said it's a single A. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, Talib, yeah. Right, pronounced with 2 A's, right? Okay. All right, so these are your group members. Any other questions at all? Okay. All right, so whenever we do start the project on Sunday, we're going to break up into groups, obviously, and the way you're going to submit your code together and the way you're going to collaborate is with what I'm about to teach right now. So like it's definitely important to pay attention and look back at the video. You don't have to do it as I do it. I honestly would rather you just watch unless you want to do it with me. But yeah, I'll show everything. So I showed those commands before in the last class on how to like CD to like directories and CD into different folders and make directories and make files and stuff like that. From now on, I'm not going to like use the computer interface to make files in folders. I'm gonna use the terminal just so that we get used to seeing how to do these things. So I'm going to my desktop and I'm gonna make a directory. I'll just name it, let's say Git, because we're gonna learn about Git today. And I'll explain what Git is in a minute. So I'm inside of the Git folder. I'm gonna create an index.ht. Actually, I'm not gonna create anything right now. I'm gonna just explain what Git is. So Git is a version control system for anyone that don't know what Git is. And what that means is it basically, whenever, let's say you're collaborating with a group of people and all of y'all are like writing code, Git allows us to save snapshots of our code, like from start to finish. A good analogy is, let's say, like, you drop your phone or whatever. Like let's say like you're like getting dressed or whatever, and you drop your phone, like, and it's like, I wish I can go back. You know what I mean? I wish I can go back in time to the point where I didn't actually pick up my phone and drop it. Like Git is a way for you to actually go back in time. Like as far as like with your code, let's say like your code was running okay, and then somebody wrote some code and just broke the whole thing. Because we're saving snapshots of the progression of your code, you're able to backtrack to whenever your code didn't actually break. So Git basically does that for you. And I'll show y'all how all of that stuff works. Any questions before I teach all of the commands?
So is this like where so everybody can chime into the code? So like, let's say, we got the code and then you think that this will work to make something happen. So you add it in and we're all contributing to the same one code instead of us using separate VS codes.
Well, you'll be using your own VS code, but you'll all be contributing to the same code. Now the code is going to be in the cloud. And we're going to use something called Bitbucket. And Bitbucket, upon doing some research, is actually like the industry standard. This is what I use at work. I didn't know it was the standard, but we're going to save all of our code in the cloud. But we're going to save in the cloud through the terminal, and I'll show you how to do it. Any other questions?
Is it
Actually,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, is it the same syntax with Windows?
Yes, same syntax, exact same syntax. Now, for those Windows users, I hope you took it upon yourselves to download Git Bash. I put a video in the chat. Yeah, it's like the first 3 minutes. So yeah, I will always, anytime I pull up the terminal, pull up Git Bash. But either way, these commands will still work on Windows. It's universal.
I was actually just about to talk about that. That video is actually pretty dope. Once she was able to translate what she was saying.
Yeah, like the accent you're saying.
Yeah, that accent was deep.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Like, yeah, it's definitely something to get used to. Trust me, that was light. That was light compared to what you're gonna see. Like, there's some really heavy accents, and that was complete English to me because I'm so used to hearing the Indian accent. So
I had to go back and rewind a couple of times, like, yeah, control, like what, like, but everything she went through though was pretty dope as far as for Windows users. So anybody who has Windows, you know what I mean, please go through that video because it's stupid dope.
Can you put that back into the chat, that link for the video?
Sure. I'll post it again right after. It should be. Let me see. Yeah, you should be able to scroll up on it. It was sent yesterday.
Oh, in the
at 8 a.m.
chat for the not this chat.
The bootcamp one, the regular The one that the class link was sent in that chat. Yeah. But I'll drop it towards the end, just to get it in front of everybody. All right, cool. So let
Got
me.
bad said battery check, homie.
Oh, yeah. Let me charge that. One moment, and I'll be right back.
Shout out to the king of burnt out batteries.
Hey, he write that thing to the end, homie.
Is he talking about the 34 basic Linux commands, or is there another?
No, there's one above that one. But that one is good to go through too, because that's basically what I taught on Sunday. So it should be right. So if you keep scrolling up, you're gonna see something.
Git bash. I got it.
Exactly. And honestly, like if y'all did watch that whole video, you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff that I'm gonna teach today. So all of that is related. All right, so the way we, so I have an empty folder, right? There's nothing inside of this. Now what I'm about to do is I'm gonna set this folder up to be able to track all of my code changes. And the way I do that, and I'm gonna give y'all a cheat sheet with all of these code things that I'm about to teach. But anyway, the way I set this folder up to track all of my code changes is I'll run Git. Now Git is the command that we always run. Like this is like an interface, and like we run different commands after this, and you're gonna see me run this a lot. So Git init, it's like basically we're initializing something in this folder to be tracked, basically. Now, if I do ls, right, I can see that it looks like there's nothing currently in the folder. And I'm not sure if I showed y'all this command last time, but there's a way to see, like on your computer, there's also hidden files and folders. And in this folder, it should be a hidden file. And I can find all of the hidden files by adding this -a to ls, the same command I taught last time. And if I do -a, I can see that we have a folder in here, this .git folder. In this folder, obviously we can't see it in here. I think if I do Command Shift period, yeah. On Macs, you can see hidden files by doing Command Shift period. And so I can see this folder here. This folder got a lot of stuff in it. I mean, what's in here is irrelevant, but basically it's just tracking all of our code changes. I'm gonna hide that folder back. I'm not sure how to show the hidden folders on Windows. We had to look that up, but either way, we can see it here when we do ls-a, this .git here. Now, I'm gonna open up this inside of VS Code, and I'm gonna use the terminal that's inside of VS Code as well. And I'll show you how to open that up as well. So I just dragged it over to VS Code. And let's see, I can open up the terminal by coming actually, I'm gonna just do it from here. Terminal and then new terminal, and it should open up the terminal. Now you can either, I think Windows is like file, new terminal or something like that. I don't know. But even if you don't see it, you can literally come down, you can literally put your mouse down here and drag it up, and it should come up. The terminal that's inside of VS Code is the exact same terminal as out here. But if you're on Windows, what you want to do is you want to switch. You want to click this button and you want to switch to let me see. You should have like a Git. It should say bash right here. I think there's, yeah. You click this button here and then click bash, so that it uses the Git bash that you downloaded from that video. But either way, we're inside of the folder. It's empty, and now I can check to see. Let's say I was to add a file. I'm add a file inside of here. Do a pwd. I'm already inside of the Git folder. I'm going to create a file and say index.html. Right, you can see it created here. And if I do git status, Git status tells me all of the, it basically tells me if I've added any new code to this folder. Now, the new code that I added was this index.html. My Mac added this. MacBooks always add this file here. I think it's for like tracking purposes, but either way, you're going to see an index.html in red, and it says that this change is untracked. So we didn't actually track. We didn't actually save this change. Basically, that's basically what that means. So we've created an index.html. Now I'm going to create a CSS file. I'm just going to say main.css. Right.
Why do you write touch? What's that command mean?
Right. Yeah. So this is the commands I actually went over on Sunday.
Got it.
Yeah.
Works.
Right. Yeah. It just creates files basically. But yeah, you'll see all of these in that command line video too. So once you go through that, you're gonna see all of this stuff. Either way, I'm gonna do Git status again, right? And now I can see that I have the CSS file and the HTML file here. So it's literally keeping track of everything I created. Now, whenever you make changes, right? Remember I told you we save snapshots of every time we change the code. In order for us to save a snapshot, first we have to stage our code to be saved. So right now these two files is in a state of being just not tracked at all. But for me to start tracking changes in these two files, I have to run a command called Git Add and then dot. And that's gonna add, this is basically gonna track the changes for both of these two files. If I run Git status again, now these are in green. Now both of these are being tracked.
Question, what does that dot at the end of add mean? So Git add,
Right.
what does that dot represent?
So the dot is basically saying that we want to add everything that's in our current directory and inside of all of the folders that's inside of it. So right now, if I do pwd, we're inside of the Git directory. Now I'm basically adding everything that's inside of here. Now, let's say I had more folders within here, it'll add all of those things as well. So that's basically what this does for us. Now we can add individual files as well. Let's say if I created, let's see, about.html, and then I'll add, let's say, about contact.html.
That's crazy. I never noticed the U's and the A's next to them. So the U's are for untracked and the A's are for track, basically.
Oh, I never noticed that either. Yeah, you just now taught me something. Probably that's probably what it is. But if I do get status here, we can see that these two were not tracked, and we still have these ones that we are tracking. Now, if I do Git Add about.html, I can just track the about one. See, now the about one is here, and now contact is still not tracked. And that's why I normally just run Git Add all, so I can just track everything at the same time. If I run a Git status again, we can see that everything is in green, and it's saying that the changes are ready to be committed. So all of these are being tracked. They're all like in this state of like, let's get ready to take a snapshot of our code so we can like save this. So in order to take a snapshot of the code, you have to commit everything here. So I'm gonna run Git Commit. This is how you commit something. You do -m. M stands for message. Anytime you commit your code to create a snapshot, you want to write a very descriptive message, and that message is going to let you know what a snapshot is. Basically, when we go to look at all of the different snapshots, we're going to see like all of the different messages that we create, and you'll see that a little bit later. But anyway, I run Git Commit -m, and I put a quotation mark here. It's double quote or single quote, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to write adding index, contact, and about pages. I'm gonna press enter, right? And now it's telling us that, and we can see all those letters went away now too. So let me see, adding index so that's the message that I put, and it's basically saying 5 files were changed. 5 files. So we got these 4 here, and that one that the MacBook put on there. So if I run Git status again, right? It's basically saying nothing to commit. So we haven't, like, we saved that snapshot. It's already saved. Now there's like no other changes. No other changes have been made right now. Let me see, what time is it? 23. All right, so now I'm going to start making changes to these files and then tracking them like little by little, so that we can see how we're able to like go back and see like code before something breaks. So I'm gonna write some quick HTML. Just hit exclamation point and I hit tab in case anybody didn't know. I'm gonna create a few anchor tags. And I'm not sure if I even taught this in the previous class, but we're able to link our HTML files together with these anchor tags. All we gotta do is add the path to the file. So this one, so this is the index.html. Right next to it is the about page. So I put about.html, or we can do /about.html. It's the same, just like when we were like navigating with like the CD command. I'm gonna do contact.html. This is the contact page. And I'm gonna just write inside of h1 home page. And we're gonna see all of this. We're gonna see how all of this stuff works in a minute. So save this. If I do Git Status, I see that I made changes to my index.html file. Now, to see those changes, I think I do Git diff to see the difference. Yeah, Git diff shows like what exactly was changed. So we basically added everything here. All of this stuff is in green that we added. Anything you see in red is stuff that was removed technically. And this is probably just like some space that was already there before I started writing all this stuff. But either way, all of these pluses mean that something was added. Now what I'm about to do is to get out of this, you want to press Q to quit out of that, so we can get back to the regular terminal. So go ahead.
Can you save that everything that was changed? Is there a way to save everything that was changed?
Yeah, I'm about to save.
Microphone up too.
Yeah, I'm about to save it. So you save everything that was changed by committing it. That's how you save the snapshot.
Well, no, I meant like if I wanted to print out the difference or something and like compare it to my old code or something like that, then
yeah. So we're gonna actually see that actually. So there's VS Code has like an interface that shows us the differences between like what we had and what we're about to do. So if I go here, right, inside of VS Code, we can see that there's an interface here. I'm not gonna go over this right now. I just wanna I'm gonna go over this a little later because I don't wanna put too much stuff out there. I wanna keep it try to keep it as organized as possible. I'll show y'all this a little bit later. The way VS Code does it.
There's a quick question.
Yeah.
Could you, so on my screen, when you wrote Git diff, I couldn't see it, but when I guess you hit enter, it said diff, then it was like minus Git. So I'm just trying to see exactly how I'm supposed to write it out. Oh, okay.
Just this one here, just
Okay.
diff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I missed. So I only seen the other one. I'm like, that's not what he said.
All right, cool. So let me just do a Git status again, right? We still have this. So I'm about to add that, and adding it puts it in a staged position. So now we're about to save a snapshot. If I do a Git status again, we can see that this is the changes to be committed is this one. So I'm gonna commit this one. I'm gonna say git commit -m for a message. See, adding home page. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the contact page. And say contact page. And we actually want the home page here. So this index.html is home. All right. Let's save this, and I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna do a git status, and I'm just doing this over and over so we can get used to these commands. I can see that this is not tracked. If I do a git add, I'm gonna add everything with this dot. So if I do a git status again, I can see that it's ready to be committed. Now if I do a git commit -m for a message, I'm gonna say adding contact page. If I do a git status, we can see that like it was basically committed, basically. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the about page. Actually, let's copy this one. Put that here. This is going to be home. And this is going to be index.html. Okay, and this is the about page. Save that. Now if I do a git status, you can see that it's still in red. So I'm going to do a git add all, git status again. Now it's in green. If I do a git commit, adding about page. If I do a git status again, now we can see that there's nothing to be committed. Working tree is clean. That just means that it's just nothing to be committed. So now we have all of those. Now we have all those changes. Let me open this up in HTML. So I'm opening it up in a browser just so y'all can see what this looks like. It's real simple. Home page is here. If I click about, we go to the about page. If I click contact, we go to the contact page. That's all it is. So in case you want to know how to navigate between HTML files, that is how you do it. Now that we know how to, any questions before I move on? I see there's a lot of stuff in the chat. Let me just check that.
I see that was talking about, I see why they were talking about adding so much description in the comments that way, because if somebody else is looking at your code, they know exactly where you are.
Right. And like you can track a lot of stuff in here. But anyway, that'll come with time. Basically, all right. So now we know how to save our snapshots.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
But yeah.
So when you was writing in the code, you're saving it in VS Code and you still got to commit it at the bottom. Like you got to do both.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you save it, it picks up a change. It's okay. You changed something because you just saved it, and now what you saved looks different than what we have saved for you. Inside of that, like git folder, that's where all that information is. But yeah. So.
I have a question. In your work, I've always noticed that you create an index.html file for the purpose of building out your, I guess, your framework. Is that the correct construct of that file?
Right. So good question. So the index.html is always your home page. It's always going to be the home page. And the reason it's always the home page is because whenever you actually go to publish your code online to like have a website or app or whatever you're going to build, they always look for a file called index.html. They always look for it. And if it's not there, then your website or app or whatever you built is not going to show. So it's like a rule, basically. You have to have this index.html file. So good question.
And so if you, again, in this context, because I was, kind of disturbed, or not but a little bit confused because I mean, index.html was the name of my file that I was using for my homework assignment, but so you will be basically creating different folders for every project you have. You have a folder, a new folder, but in that folder, there's a file called index.html for that project.
Right. So there should be only one index.html, like all the way like on the outside of everything. And all those individual folders is just to separate the code. We're gonna see something a little bit different once we get to React. But like for the most part, there's only one index.html file. So
I'm in different projects. So like, for example, in my homework, I had an index.html for the graphic that we were building. But that should have been under a different folder. And so then therefore, for this project, I would have a Git folder.
Right.
With its own index.html file.
I see what you're saying. A way to keep all your code together, but separate it into different folders, right? Yeah, you'll have multiple index.htmls inside of each folder, right? You're right. All right, cool. So we know how to save a snapshot, right? And we save a snapshot by first adding it to be saved as a snapshot. And whenever we're done adding stuff, we do git commit. And when we do the commit, that is when we save our snapshots. Now, I did tell y'all that let's say somebody like broke some code or whatever. Let's say, I don't know, somebody, actually that may actually work. I would just to say HL, right? I'm gonna add it. I'm going to commit it. Let me see, change HTML file, right? And now when I go here and press, what was that, contact that was broken? Yeah, if I press contact, now my website is broken. It's like it doesn't know where to go. So now that I broke it, I want to go back and I want to fix what I broke. The way that I can do that is by let me first run clear. And clear basically clears your screen to get rid of all of that extra stuff. But anyway, the way I look at all of my snapshots is by running git log. And this keeps a log of everything that you changed. Now, if I come here, I can see that, see, changed HTML file. That was literally the last thing I changed. We have adding about page, adding contact page. If I press the down button, we can see everything here. See, adding contact page, adding home page, and then adding index contact and about pages. All of those commits that I did, and all of those snapshots have a number associated with it, and that number is here. These are the commit like IDs, so to speak. So I know that my code was working when I was here. Now it's not working when we got to this point. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to go back to this point in time, basically. And the way I do that is first I got to copy this ID. And remember, to get out of this, you just press Q to quit out of that. So I copied that ID. And the way I go back is I'll do Git Revert. And this I do Git Revert, and then I paste in that number. And to be honest, we don't even have to copy the whole number. Like we can literally just copy like the first like few digits, and it's gonna figure it out. It's gonna figure the rest out itself. It don't matter how many digits you put in there, as long as it's different than the rest. But anyway, I'm going to revert it back to this point in time. I want you to look at this. This is going to change back as soon as I press enter. Enter. Hold on. Okay. It's asking me to put like a this is like a commit message basically. So I'm gonna say going. How do I do this? Okay, going back because something broke or whatever. Now I gotta press the escape button and then press Q, I think. No, press :Q. No, :WQ. Here we go. Here's the commands. So I had to press escape first and then :WQ to quit out of that. Why is that not working? :WQ. Yeah, :WQ. Why did that not go back? Let me see something. Did that not work? Actually, I think it's Git reset. I think it's Git reset actually. I think I told you the wrong command. Let me test this out. Git reset. Unstage changes after reset. It's these two. Why did that not? Hold on. Let me figure out what's going on. Git reset. One moment. Let me just do a git log again to see what's going on. That was definitely supposed to work. So we have adding about page. Yeah, we went back. Right. Let's see. Git status. Okay. All right. So basically it did go back, except for it basically told us. So let me see. Let me go all the way back. We basically are back to before we committed it, before we made this change. We can even see it here, like that there was a change on line 12. But let me see if I press Control Z. Actually, no, that's one moment. Let me try something else. I think we may have to go back an additional one. I'm gonna try this. Go back. Okay, yeah, something's definitely off. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna try to figure this out on my own time. I'm not sure what's going on because that was supposed to work. But let me just try one more thing. Git revert. Revert. Reverting. No, it didn't go back. That's very odd. Okay. For the sake of time, what I'm gonna do is I'll show y'all this revert in the next class, and I'll just continue with what I was doing. This definitely worked when I was doing this on my own. Not sure what's going on, but either way, let me check something.
Can you try maybe git reset -- hard with the
yes, yeah,
with the
yeah, it was -- hard. You're right. You're right. I forgot about that. Yes, it was -- hard. Thank you. that is what I missed. So this, thank you. That was Sammy, right? I didn't get
it's Dyer.
who?
Dyer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate that. But yeah, so the -- hard brought us back. And this is a flag to not forget. Obviously, I forgot that flag. But either way, we've been brought back to where we want to be when this wasn't actually broken. I feel like we went back too much. I knew this one wasn't showing. But I'm gonna put that about page back really quick. Yeah, put that back about page. And this is literally because I went back an additional commit because I thought I didn't go back far enough. And that's why this one had got erased also. But yeah, you do git reset and then -- hard. I think you can do git revert as well, but I think git reset, no, git revert. No, so git reset erases all your snapshots, like forever. And if you do a git revert, it still saves your snapshots. don't worry too much about the difference there. You can just use git reset for now until y'all get used to these commands. So to recap, Git Add staged all of our changes to be saved inside of a snapshot. When we did Git Commit, we actually saved the snapshot. We were able to see like the status every time we made changes with Git Status. And basically, what was the other thing? And when we did Git Diff, that showed us the differences in the files that we changed. We just changed that about page, and that's why this is here. And we did Git log, and Git log shows us all of our previous commits in case we ever want to go back. Now, any questions before I move on to the next thing?
So is the Q like an escape key, basically?
Yeah, it was so Q, it quits out of it goes into this like this mode when I do was like Git diff or whatever. You usually do colon Q, but I think because it already has a colon at the bottom, and you can just press Q to quit outside of that. And that's why I was like, okay, is it colon Q or Q? But either way, you can always press colon Q, even if that colon is already there. So it's literally just like this.
So what is that dash hard? What is that? What's the difference between that and just running the code regularly?
I'm not sure, to be
Dash
honest.
hard
I'm not completely sure, to be honest, but I've always seen it run with the dash hard command. And this time, for some reason, I just forgot to even put it there because I rarely use that command. I think it's the equivalent of like a hard reset or something like that. I think that was probably like the naming convention. I'm not completely sure though. I don't want to, give you misinformation.
Oh, no biggie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me add this change really quick. I'm gonna commit it, adding about page. Okay, and if I do a Git status, we don't have anything there. Now I'm gonna show y'all how to add this to the cloud, right? So what y'all gonna do, not right now, but after the class, you're gonna go to bitbucket.org. And bitbucket.org is the website that we're going to use to save all of our code. Bitbucket is actually under a company called, what's the company called? I think it's like Atlas or something like that. But either way, it's under another company. But Bitbucket is basically a repository or a place for you to store all of your code. I already have a Bitbucket. So I'm already going to this page, but y'all gonna have to go through like the whole sign up process for it.
Is this also like a substitute for either a Google workspace or a Amazon or AWS account or something like that?
So it's like a Google Drive, I would say. I guess you can say Amazon to an extent, but I think it's more closely resembles like your Google Drive. Like it kind of like saves everything there. Yeah, Amazon kind of does like a lot of different things. But yeah, I would compare it to Google Drive. So basically, when you're on this website, whenever you sign up and you come to this page right here, you're going to see this button, create. You want to press that and you want to say create repository. A repository is a place where you're going to store all of your code. And this is also the place where all of your group members is going to reference the code from. This is where everybody's going to save their code to. So when you're here, you have to select a project. Now, a project is basically like, it's basically called like a namespace or like a name that all your projects are currently like under. I created one called cohort 4. So I'm gonna click that, and if you're not gonna see something here, you can just create one for yourself, maybe even name it like the name of your group or whatever. But I'm gonna put mine under cohort 4, and I'm gonna give this a name, and I'll just say Git intro. right? You can keep it as, I'm gonna just take it off of private for now. It's normally private whenever you're working for a company. And that just means that like people on the internet can't see it. I'm gonna take mine off of private just because I don't really, care for if someone wants to look at it. So I uncheck that box. I'm going to I'm gonna say yes for a README. And a README is basically a file where you keep all of your documentation for your code, like anything you want someone to know about like your code in general. And it can literally just be anything. And you can even put like the author or like licensing information, stuff like that. For this box, I would just put main inside of here. What this is doing for us is it's saving, it's basically this is going to be the name of where my code is going to exist. And I'll get more into like what this means in a minute. And I'll just press create repository here. After it creates, so now everything is created. It has this README file in here, and this is the README file. You're free to like change it if you want. It's literally just a file.
But they say git ignore.
Yeah, this git ignore. This file, I mean, this is a file that says like which, like, let's say you wanted to I don't want to get too far into this one yet because I don't want to confuse anybody. And plus, we only got 10 minutes left. But essentially, basically, this file helps us to like have different certain files that we don't want to save online. For example, like let's say we had a file like on our computer that had passwords in it. You can add the name of that file to this git ignore, and whenever you add your code online, it won't be saved online for people to see it. That's basically what that is. Don't worry about it for now, though. So now we need to, let's see. So now that we have our code on our computer, right? Now we need to link our code to Bitbucket. But before we link it, what I'm gonna need y'all to do is to go to this option here because Bitbucket has some security behind it. And we have to tell Bitbucket that our computer has access to this website. So you click right here and you go to personal settings, right? And you go down to at passwords. And basically, it's going to give you, as soon as that loads, this is where you create a password for your computer to say, hey, actually, I have access to this website, to this Bitbucket. I'm just going to take this off because this is the one I created earlier. So I'm going to create a password for my computer to log into this site essentially. And I want to give my computer access to everything here. Like I'm gonna give it full access to do everything. I would just check all these boxes. Don't worry so much about like what these do. And to be honest, we're not like actually using just a lot of these options, but just check all of them anyway. That's basically saying your computer has access to everything, and then you create it here with this create button. Oh, you want to label this? I'm gonna name this cohort 4. I'm gonna create. You're just a little bit slow. Okay, so I created, wait, it was supposed to show me a password. I think I clicked out of it by accident. Let me do that over. Yeah, my computer's running slow because I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Check all of these boxes. Okay. Create. Oh wait. Let's see. I'm just gonna say intro.
Where would you save the password? Because they basically say normally it would save it automatically on my my
Yeah.
Chrome, but it's not doing that. So
So this is the password here. You're not actually going to save it anywhere. It's going to give you a one-time password, and you use this password to tell Bitbucket that you have access to it. So I'm gonna copy this, and you never have to remember it ever again. I just copied this just so I have access to it whenever it does ask me for the password. I'm just going to paste it in here for now, so I have it. So with that password, let me.
you pasted it into your code, VS Code.
Yeah, it's just there temporarily because I got to copy something else. I'm gonna go back to repositories. Go back to Git intros here. Now I think so. You go here to you go here to this button, clone, right? And what we just need is literally just this part here of the URL. I'm gonna go into what git clone means a little bit in the next class probably, or a little after this. But just copy this first URL for now, and then you can close it. And to link this code to this stuff online, we want to run a command down here. Let me clear this first. And I believe the command is git add origin. And then you paste in the URL. I'm pretty sure this is the command. I should have copied it. Origin did not match any files. Hold on, let me stop sharing for 2 seconds. I wrote down that command somewhere. One moment. Oh, origin remote. Yes. Let me share that. Let me share my screen again. Git remote add origin. Let me where it says Zoom is here. So okay, so here's a mute. Okay, cool. All right, so I did a quick search online, and where is it? Where is it? Here we go. This is the command right here. So git remote add origin. So I just did git add origin and then paste it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna adjust this. It's git remote add origin. Git remote add origin. Okay. So now this should be linked to the code that's online. And for us to add this code online, we want to run a command called Git Push. And this pushes all of our changes online. So just think of it as pushing our changes to be online or uploading our changes. Git Push setup. It's actually main. One moment, let me see what's going on. So git remote add. That's literally what I did. Let me make sure that okay, I think, yeah, I see what's going on. So let me see, I'm through Bitbucket, git remote add origin, Bitbucket. Good old Google. Okay, how to add remote origin on Bitbucket repository. I usually do a copy and paste, but I didn't see the copy and paste there. This is exactly what I did. Bitbucket repository URL. So git remote add origin. That's what I did. Git remote add origin.
You gotta add a sudo in there or something like that to like force it to admin rights or admin privileges or something.
I don't think so, because it would have said something about like authentication. I mean, I can try it though. I doubt that. I doubt it's that. But I'm gonna just try it. And sudo, for anybody that don't know, is basically converting what's that? Basically converting the terminal to be like have admin access. So you have more access on your computer to do certain things. Why is this doing this? Git config -s global sudo fill unsafe repository. Hold on. Git remote origin. Git remote add. Invite. Bitbucket. I'm thinking maybe my URL is probably off. The structure of it. Let's see. Yeah, the structure. Hold on. Yeah, I think the structure of my URL was off. Let me try that again. I gotta like reset my code before I do this, because I feel like it's not gonna. How to remove git remote. It's almost 8. Okay. Don't worry about these commands right here. I'm just trying to fix something. Okay. This was, so that basically the structure of my URL was wrong, was incorrect, basically. And I didn't add it the correct way. So what I'm gonna do is restructure that really quick so that I can add this correctly. And I'm gonna compare it to what I see online. Should be something like this. So what I have is this. It says, so git bitbucket.org.me. I think this is probably that. And this must be this. I'm just completely guessing. If this don't work, we'll just pick up on this on Sunday if this don't work. So let me try this again. Someone else. This. Not even sure what this command does. I'm gonna just try it. Get rid of the sudo. And okay, I think. Yeah, all right, so that actually worked. I should have talked through what I just did. So basically, I added it. I had my URL structure wrong. It was incorrect, so I had to restructure it. And I'll send y'all how it's supposed to be structured. Normally you'll see like a copy and paste on Bitbucket, so you won't like get that mixed up. But either way, I restructured it to how it's supposed to look, and then I did a Git push. And when I did the Git push, it's basically telling us that we don't have any branch, we don't have any space on Bitbucket that's called master. Now, if you remember, I had named something main, and main was supposed to be where we add our code. But we're using something called master here. And I'll go back over this on Sunday too. I know this is all a lot in one session. But either way, I ran this command, the one that they told me to run. And this basically adds another space for us to add our code online. And then after I ran it, it asked me for this password basically. Let me see, I'm sure you want to continue connecting. Wait, actually, yeah, I gotta push yes. It did not ask me for that password yet. So yes, connect. Please ensure the correct access rights. Maybe that was one moment. Push. I think it had asked me for the password and I didn't enter it. Either way, it's 8 o'clock. This is the life of a developer, Google and debugging half the time. So we'll continue this on Sunday, where we'll add, we'll learn how to add code to Bitbucket. But I guess until then, what y'all can do is practice all those command lines, those command line things that I taught on Sunday, and also practice using all of these Git commands, except for the one I'm just now showing, because I'll redo that one on Sunday. And make sure y'all going through the JavaScript section. It's section 3. I think it's called On to JavaScript. Just go through, make sure you go through that. It's just start getting through it, because when we jump into JavaScript, like I want everybody to at least be a little bit familiar with what it looks like. And on Sunday, after I teach y'all how to push this online, I'm gonna give y'all a group project actually, and you're gonna break up into groups and you're gonna practice like using all these commands together, and you're gonna start like basically contributing to the code base that you're gonna add here until the project is finished, and y'all get more details on that on Sunday. Any questions?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So this Bitbucket, is it an alternative for like GitHub or like GitHub?
Git is an alternative for GitHub. Before I did research, I thought GitHub was like the standard, but Bitbucket is actually the standard, and it makes sense because I use it at work. They're both basically version control systems, and there's more than just these two. There's a few more, but these are like the most. But this Bitbucket is the most popular one, used by it's the industry standard. So yeah, just like GitHub.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So do it tracks who did what on the like the group codes and stuff, like what they say our username next to every little thing we add or take off or
Yep. It tracks everything, and that's the good thing about it, because when y'all do the projects, I'm gonna know who did not contribute, because I'm gonna look through and I'm gonna see who added code to it. So yes, it tracks all of that stuff, and that's something to keep in mind.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So will you send us a link to this video when it's published?
Yeah. So every video is recorded to YouTube. You should see the YouTube link in the folder, and you just gonna see that add to the playlist. So all of this is on YouTube. Any other questions?
Yeah. And the Git keyword, is it only for pushing codes to Bitbucket?
So you can use the Git keyword with Bitbucket, GitHub, and whatever else that has access. I'm not sure like any other platforms besides those two, but I know that there's more. Git is is basically a command line, let's call it a command line interface for you to be able to track your code. And Git is not the only one. There's another one that starts with like an M. I forgot the exact name of it, that some people will use, but Git is like very popular. So
Yeah, but we could push code to GitHub with Git,
right.
right?
Yes. Yeah, you can push to GitHub with Git. Right. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.